Hello, how's it going, Amy?
I'm good, thank you. It's Amy and Blossom.
And we've got with Blossom straight away. She's straight in with the
She's
action. She
straight.
normally
Yeah,
takes.
I know. She's wide awake now. It's 10 p.m, so she's wide awake. I'll get her to take over. She can talk.
So
I don't think that goes down too very well.
if you're joining us on YouTube live, welcome. If you're watching this after it's gone live, welcome. Please smash a like on the video and leave your comments in the description below. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, welcome as well. It's been the day of the Black Country Derby, a day of a monsoon. It's ended up West Bromwich Albion won. Wolverhampton Wanderers won. And before we get started, Amy, I know you've been out for a run in the rain today because you're mad. Amy is obviously a very, very good runner, and you did your we were just talking about, you did your almost your personal best for a 5K, didn't you?
Yeah, on Saturday, not today, not in that weather. So ran that on Saturday morning. Which was good. So it's always nice to do things like that, isn't it? It was actually nice weather on Saturday, so that helped as well. But it did feel for the players because being out this afternoon in the rain, and it was relentless, very, very bad weather. Which they call them professionals, footballers, but that ball was just going nowhere in those last 10 minutes, was it? It was just
it was like water polo. When you look at the pitch and you saw the water, and obviously I have my ducks on my channel, and they would have they'd have absolutely totally loved it, swimming around there. Do you want to let everyone know how fast you run that 5K?
It was 19 minutes 30 dead. So yeah.
19 minutes 30. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, that's really, really impressive. I've got people saying hi to us and everything as well. So I think everyone can be well impressed. And Blossom, bless her soul, if you are listening to this on the podcast, Blossom's becoming a bit of a celebrity on here as well.
I know, she steals my thunder.
Beautiful. What's her breed, Amy?
She's a British blue, so a British short hair. So she likes to get involved. So she has wolves coloured eyes. She has orange and black eyes, essentially.
Absolutely,
and she's grey, so she's a little bit like a mini wolf, aren't you?
And she's settling down, and she loves you to be. She loves the attention, doesn't she, Amy?
She'll probably hit me in a minute or something, because she's like, "Why are you not paying me attention?" But hopefully that won't happen. But
and we've got a few people putting in the comments about you think 90 minutes you'll be gasping for air. And we've got another one here. Blossom, such a lovely cat.
Oh, she is. She is. But anyway, enough about me. We don't need to. How are you, Dave?
I'm good. I'm not too bad, Amy. I mean, obviously, we haven't beaten the West Birmingham Baggy Birds again. Last time we beat them at the Hawthorns was 1996. We've failed to beat them on 2 attempts this season in the Premier League. And honestly, so they're still going to be, you know what it's going to be. They're still going to be harping on about it, even when they're down to Championship or League One level. You haven't beaten us in 5-1. But at the end of the day, I was pretty pleased with the performance. It was interesting team selection that we had. And I was quite happy overall. I don't feel too bad about it. I felt we were the better team, and all the stats for there. I mean, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was obviously before the game in January quite nervous and apprehensive, but I felt a bit numb/nothing about the game, really. Like, the season to me is completely over. Oi! See, that's what I mean. Blossom, no.
What did she do? Give you a little nip there?
Yeah, she gave me a little nip. I'm not going to swear. Yeah, I just felt a bit like there was no real excitement for the game. I think obviously we know that the Premier League clubs have been off social media, so I don't feel like there was actually any hype for the game. Like, it felt quite, because there is obviously, and I completely agree with the reasons and everything for that break of social media, but I think you felt really, really disengaged from the game and like the team and stuff because of that falling, and especially not being able to go. And so there was just a general, for me, quite a lack of hype to it, which there shouldn't really be for a derby game. So I was a bit like, obviously you want them to beat Albion, and like 10 minutes before I was like eating my tea, and I was like, oh, I don't think I can eat any more tea because I'm actually quite nervous. And I thought the intensity of the game was really good. I obviously didn't watch the Burnley game because I was out and about, but I don't think I missed much from what I've heard.
What was the score in the end? I know it was 2-1 to West Ham. West Ham, here we go. Carl's the stat man as well. Burnley 2-1.
I meant our Burnley game. I didn't see our Burnley game the other week, which when we played.
You were out on the Sozzle, weren't you? On the Razzle Dazzle.
So I was out for the day with my friends, so I didn't see that game. But I don't think I missed much. But obviously, I heard a lot from my dad about how bad the performance was. So I think I was quite impressed with how they played today. I think it just sums the fact that we can't score goals. And if we could score goals, then we'd have probably beaten them quite significantly, which is a little bit frustrating. But overall, I thought it was a really good performance. The goal that we conceded was quite disappointing. Free header, shouldn't have left a man unmarked like that in the box. But overall, we're staying up. It's actually annoying because I actually worked out that even Wolves, if Wolves had beaten the Albion tonight, they would have actually mathematically relegated them because Newcastle and Fulham have got to play each other on the last game. So
is that right?
Mm-hmm. When you work out the maths, which I did because I'm sad.
That's right. Yeah, of course.
So that was a little bit. When I worked that out, I said to Dad, I was like, Newcastle and Fulham. If West Ham, obviously West Ham beat Burnley as well. So West Ham beat Burnley. So if Wolves had beaten them tonight, then because they've got each other on the last day of the season, then there would have been.
Although I don't know whether that's actually true, actually, because if Newcastle...
It is true, Dave. Don't question my maths. It is true.
Yeah,
because
but,
12 points difference.
Newcastle are 11 points clear of Albion.
Yeah, so even if they drew, if Fulham and Newcastle drew in the last day of the season, that would have been 12 points.
If Newcastle lose every single game, it doesn't matter what Fulham do, because if Fulham only win one game,
exactly, because Fulham and Newcastle are the only two teams that Albion could have caught.
Yeah, but my point is,
but you're wrong.
Newcastle, I am right. If Newcastle lose if I am right, if Newcastle lose every game, and Albion won every game, Newcastle were 11 points. Well, now 10 points clear, but it would have been 11 points. But you can't. Fulham would have to win every game.
There'd have been 12 points.
Yeah, but
so made up the gap,
only if
and the goal difference was worse.
Only if Fulham win every game.
I'm right. So
am right.
It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter anyway because Wolves didn't beat Albion. So. Anyway, let's go on to the callers. Let's go on to the callers because it's 10:10 and Blossom is attacking me and it's
it's funny. Well, let's change the background and we're going to get Chris on first. And I'll be interested. I'm sure we'll have to get Statman Speedy to check up on this to see which one of us is right, because I'm sure I'm right.
It doesn't even matter, Dave, because it can't happen.
Right, we're going to get...
I don't know why you're arguing it, because we could have relegated them, so you should be agreeing with my point. Oh, Blossom, stop it.
Oh, Chris, how you doing, mate? Hey, look, hold on, Amy, look. Dave, you're right. Hold on. Amy is right. Dave, so we're both right. Hold on. Sean says I'm right. Well, it's interesting. Chris, let's hear your points on the game, mate.
Firstly, hi to both. I thought tonight was a much better performance. It was lovely to see Otasowie, Vitinha. It was even good to see Morgan Gibbs-White coming on for a little bit. We was much more of an attacking threat than we was against Burnley. I don't think we even had a shot against Burnley. But to be fair, it was just silly things that let Wolves down tonight, and it wasn't really a negative. It was just like when Podence come on, he's got that little mistake in him, that little flick. One too many. Instead of playing the simple ball down the channels, and Nuno must have seen what the rest of us seen because he went absolutely spare on the sidelines.
Was that the Podence one?
Yeah, where he flicked it across, and all he had to do was play. I think it was Semedo down the wing, and he was in for a cross or Adama. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a great performance considering they were supposed to be giving everything they got. I don't think they played as well as they played the first time we played them. They didn't seem to want it as much as Wolves tonight, and it's like roles reversed. But no, I was quite pleased. I think Rui had a really good game, as he normally does. They kept us in it. But I just think if we can invest in a decent centre back, a holding midfield player that drives forward, and a striker as a backup to Silva and Roll, I think we'll be okay now. Because I watched Vitinha tonight, and he's so calm on the ball. He didn't look to struggle once, and I can't see why he's been missing for so long, because he gave us something tonight that we haven't had for a long time. He was strong, he was fast, he chased balls down, he had a good pass in him, he never gave up. So I hope that tonight isn't just a one-off because Coutinho's not right. I hope he actually gets to play the rest of the season now, if I'm honest.
I think he will. I think Vitinha is my man of the match tonight, 100%. I think we wanting to see him play for quite a while now, so it's good to see him play. And I think they obviously know that Coutinho can't last forever. I think potentially they've done what they tend to do in terms of bringing them in and put like training and things like that. So I think that's probably what we're seeing a little bit with Vitinha coming into play now. But no, I agree. I thought they played well, obviously played a lot better than they did against the first time they played the Albion, but they couldn't have played much worse, to be honest. So you can't really say that way. It's just a little bit frustrating because I think they could have easily scored at least another goal and won the game. But,
definitely.
But I'm not going to... It's not, at the end of the day, you sat here, Wolves are staying up, the Albion are not staying up. So I'd rather be in our position than their position, even if they have beaten us this season, to be honest. So they all say that, oh no, it's fine, we're getting relegated, but we beat the Wolves. I'm like, really? I don't think that's true.
No, it was a good game, to be fair. I think the weather played a massive part in it. I was just praying that if there was any mistakes to be made because of the rain, it wasn't going to come from us. Because I could just see that one ball slipping away from somebody's feet and then somebody's in on goal. And I was watching the match, and there are a lot of my friends are West Brom fans, and we was texting each other through the game. To be fair, they all said at the end, "You deserve to win." We were lucky. I think if any other player apart from Vitinha would have run through where he was pulled back, they'd have gone down and we'd have got a penalty.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought he did well, to be honest, feet. To be honest, Chris, when I don't know whether when the team come out, obviously you looked at it. Obviously no Bolly. You especially like without Bolly, and then you worry about the defence again without him. No Coutinho in the middle of the park, who I thought we missed massively last week. Then he brings in Vitinha and Otasowie. I mean, on my instant reaction, I don't know if you've watched it yet, Chris, but I gave Vitinha my man of the match. I haven't heard what Amy's is just yet. I guess we'll talk.
I just said it was Vitinha.
Vitinha, it is Vitinha as well. So we're both in agreement on that. Vitinha, I thought he was magical on the ball today. I thought his ball control, his close ball control was fantastic. And the move that I want to point out is the goal. Both Otasowie, obviously Fabio, and Vitinha were involved. Otasowie made that direct run at their defence. He's a big lad, and he's got a lot of close control. And then when he passed it off to Vitinha, he did that little flick with the outside of his back. I mean, that was touch of quality. Obviously, Semedo passed it on, and then we had the bit of luck with Fabio. But the one thing with Fabio, he gets in these positions. He knows where to be. He had a bit of luck and it looped over. It was almost like that goal that Germany scored against England in the semi-final. If you remember it back in Italia 90, when the ball just looped over the keeper and dropped in. But it was aside from the goal being lucky, it was a really good move. And I was really impressed with Vitinha. And seeing him tonight playing, if he gets a run in the side, is it 17 million we can buy him for or something like that? The loan thing. I would. You can see why we would keep him. I don't know about you guys.
Well, I've heard in the press over the past few weeks, the wheels are already in motion to sign him.
Yeah.
So I hope that's true. I do, because he's the young version of Martinho, I think.
That's what they said when they said when they bought him. I think Martinho will stay next season to kind of but probably not play much, just to kind of bring Vitinha up. But I mean, my sister's been reading quite a lot of like the write-ups from Portugal under 21s, and he's been like the star player in them all. So I think they'll definitely keep him. I think I'd be surprised if they went. But no, I thought I was actually quite excited when I saw the team tonight. I was like, it's nice that he's trying something different. I'm pleased that Fabio got to start and play the whole game. So, and obviously score as well. So I just thought it was all quite, apart from drawing, it was all quite positive.
I think Tillman was fantastic when he come on as well. You know what I mean? He shored everything up. He was heading the ball with confidence. He was tackling, dribbling, passing. And I thought that's what we've lacked. And I can't, for the life of me, see why we haven't played these players for weeks and weeks and weeks on end when we've been dross. Like the game against Burnley at half time, half them players for me would have come off. And he should have put like Virginia's on and Kilman's. But I hope now they get a run in the side. I really do, because tonight they've proved they can handle themselves against a physical, quick team that just literally hoof and run. So let's hope.
And Chris, I mean, have you got any thoughts on Nuno? Because I know you've had some obviously you've had some views on Nuno's future. I think it's worth you giving us your thoughts on where you're at right now before we finish off and get on to Statman.
Last week I was 1000% Nuno out. Not because I think he's a poor manager, because I think what he's done for the club is nothing short of a miracle. And in my time of supporting Wolves, he's been the best manager I've ever seen at Molineux. But now we're in this prestigious league, in the best league in the world, in my opinion, it'd be foolish in any walk of life to loyalty rule your future. And with COVID and the injuries and no pre-season, he hasn't been dealt a very fair hand. I will hold my hands up to that. But I think some of his tactics and formations in the past and refusal to play these younger players has sort of just tipped me over the edge, really. And it was nice to see tonight that he actually went with the so-called weaker team, and the weaker team actually played better than the teams the strongest 11 that we've seen for weeks. So I'd hope he can turn it around more than anything, because you know what, I absolutely adore the bloke, but I just don't want to get into a relegation battle, because I just think if Wolves ever did go down, Towson would probably walk away or look to sell, because they've got a dream, and I can't see a business firm like that wanting to take a massive backward step. I think they want to keep going, and now we've been reassured we're in the Premier League. I'm hoping they give Nuno the funds to buy some quality players in the areas we desperately need to progress us on to the next level.
I think that what I would say to that, though, is that everyone seems to be saying that this season has been an absolute disaster. However, they've stayed up. Okay, they've not finished 7th, but they've stayed up comfortably in points. They could still get what we're on now, 42 points, 12. So they could still get 54 points for the rest of the season, considering everything that they've got. I struggle to understand why everyone is kind of saying it's been a really disappointing season with that. Like, to me, we're bearing everything in mind, all the external factors, and then we say that you say, oh, you wish they played younger players, but then if the younger players hadn't worked, then everyone will be sat here being like, well, why is he playing the younger players? So I just feel like I don't know, that to me, that's to me is what frustrates me with some of the opinions that come across, is that this season has been disappointing, because I don't think it has. Maybe I just have my glass half full too much. But considering everything, I just don't see how we can sit and just consider how it's been a disaster.
I wouldn't say it's been a disaster, but I just think some of the football we've played has been awful. I mean, we've capitulated in games several times this season, which we didn't do the two previous seasons. We had a style and a brand of football that everyone was raving about. Everyone on TalkSport were raving about Wolves with the new Barcelona, and all the pundits on telly saying it's such a beautiful team to watch. They're so exciting. And then we went. I think what it did for me, tried to transit in the middle of a pandemic with the season has probably been the worst season for every football club in the world. For me, you should have just stabilised, kept it as it was until you had a normal season with a normal pre-season, and then play your games and try your ways. But I suppose you've got to try things to work to see if they fail. But
I think, Chris, you make a good point, and you're making it very articulately with what you're saying. And there's a lot of Wolves fans that are out that were very ferocious and saying, but I think like what Amy said has made the point. I think you understand and realise that. But when you talked about when Nuno changed the formation at the time, when he changed the formation, he was under a lot of pressure at the time to be more offensive and attacking to get the goals, which is why he changed it. He did change it, which was the Arsenal game and the Southampton game before that. And then Raul gets injured. We do manage to win that game, but then obviously we did. I think next season we'll see Nuno looking to play more of a 4 at the back and then have the 5 at the back as a backup option. But the thing is, with this season, he just, because of the injuries and everything, he just never had the round pegs to fit into the round holes. He was always trying to put a square peg or an hexagon peg or a triangle peg. And that's the reason why it's not working. And every time we've got a settled team, we've had an injury. I mean, Raul Jimenez out, probably looking like for the rest of the season, although he is training heavily. Neto, player of the season, gets injured. Johnny Otto, key wing back, comes back for 7 games, gets injured. Bolly's been in and out the team all season. And I don't think, and as a few said, any manager could have coped. All I can say is that it hasn't been a great season. We haven't been there. Some of the football hasn't been the best, but we're still, as Amy said, we're still 12th, clear safe. And you got teams like Sheffield United, Fulham, who play some great football at times. You know, Newcastle, Burnley, Brighton, who play pretty football. And you've got, like, again, West Brom, who've mid-table form at the moment, and they're all struggling to stay in the division. We've had a crap season, and we're with all these injuries, and we're still 12th, well safe. So what if we get our players back and we have a good summer window? Just see the potential going forward for next season. And I think Nuno's come out and said, I think one of his big mistakes was the squad size. He's come out and said we need to have a stronger squad. And the one thing that I really was annoyed with him this season about was the FA Cup game against Southampton, because I felt that we surrendered that game that we needn't had. But as Amy says, looking forward now, I think, who would you want in charge in the summer to take it forward? I think you'd want Nuno.
Over what's been mentioned, definitely I'd stick with Nuno. I definitely wouldn't want that Bruno Larg, whatever he's called, because he's unproven in this league. I mean, if Wolves couldn't potentially get somebody well known that's been in the Premier League, I wouldn't change it, to be honest, because it would be another stale Slovak, another Zenga kind of thing. And I'd give him 10 games, like you said, Dave, many times. And I just hope even this season he can turn it around after the players are rested, after they've all been to see the families and they've had a good pre-season. I hope we come back stronger than we've ever been before. I just hope the news that I've heard about Bolly today is quickly remedied, because that could potentially be quite a bad thing.
About Bolly?
He's got a heart murmur since he's had COVID, and that's why he's been withdrawn from. No, it was picked up in training, and it's been withdrawn from all training and everything, pending further tests.
God, that would just be a thing. Well, on that note, mate, thank you so much for joining us tonight and making your point. Appreciate it. And yeah, no, thanks for enjoying the channel, and we'll see you on a future one, buddy.
See you soon.
Cheers,
Bye. Bye.
So that's Chris. Next on, we've got Statman. How you doing, Speedy? You need to turn your sound on, I think, mate. There we are.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Amy.
Hello.
How are you both?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
How are you both?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Very positive.
Good.
Thank you.
That's good to hear. What have you got? This you got the stats?
Here we go.
Thank you for letting me on the show. So obviously, in the Black Country Derby, it was Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. West Bromwich to Wolves is 20 on target for Wolves was 10. Possession, West Albion had 42% possession to Wolves is 58% possession. Passes, West Brom had 330 to Wolves is 464. Passing accuracy, 71% to West Brom to Wolverhampton Wanderers 77%. Fouls, West Brom had 17 to Wolves is 11. Wolves had no cards. Red cards, no one got sent off, which is great. Offside, West Brom got caught offside once to Wolves is twice. And there was 5 corners to West Brom and 6 corners to Wolves.
Fantastic, thank you. Oh, is he frozen?
He looks like he's frozen there. I think he was basically saying, let's hope we get him back short. I think he was basically saying that Wolves had the dominant amount of possession, amount of shots on target and everything else. Yes, he's back. He's back twice.
Sorry.
He's back twice.
Oh God, what's happening?
We've got you and your twin on there, mate.
You're frozen. You and your frozen image.
Oh, there we are.
You're waving to yourself. It's like your twin brother. What's your brother's name, mate?
We'll call him Stato.
Stato. Okay, we've got Statman and Stato.
Oh, we've just got one of you now. There we go.
He's gone.
Good.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
So we heard the stats. What did you make of the game in total?
I was very pleased with how they played. Obviously, the Burnley game wasn't great, but it was definitely a great performance. It was very positive how they played with the ball. Obviously, it was quick tempo. It was very precise, and it was a great performance. And I think us Wolves fans should be very, proud of the boys. Even though it was a draw, we still haven't lost the game, and it was a good performance. And in my opinion, it deserved the 3 points, but I think we can take the 1 point.
Yeah, I think especially after last week and stuff, how poor the Burnley performance was. It was just nice to see them come back and show a little bit of fight and like desire and kind of that they wanted to be there, which I think was important, especially against the Albion. It was important for everyone to see, but like you say, it was just a little bit annoying because I think the 3 points were definitely there for Wolves' taking them. The Albion had that brief spell before they scored, then they scored, and then it completely switched back into their half again. So just a bit frustrating, but yeah, it was. I think I agree in terms of it being a positive performance overall.
Yeah, I have some stats for you. Like I picked a couple out.
Okay.
So Patricio's made 87 saves. Oh, sorry. Patricio's made 87 saves this season so far, which I think is brilliant. And I think, if I'm correct, they can finish on 54 points this season, and last season they had 58 points. So, in my opinion, with all the circumstances that they've had with injuries, with coronavirus, with no fans there, to finish 4 points off last season is brilliant, in my opinion. Last season they had 52 goals to this season's 33. But like I said, Ral's been out with a
That
bad
is
injury.
frightening, isn't it? Really.
It is frightening. Yes. I didn't want to pick it. Just I saw some stats and I thought, can I add? I want to add them in. And another one. Sorry to be. Well, this is another stat, but it's 10 points worse off than last season. But like I said, with the circumstances that we've had, you can't really look too much into that, if you know what I mean. Obviously, it's concerning, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't really be that worried.
No, I think that the goal one for me kind of sums up the season. You think if they've got the points that they're not too far off where they were last season, relatively, considering everything that's happened and the fact that they've scored about 20 goals less. I think if you add in what I think they've conceded a lot more. Find out how many goals they've conceded for next time compared to last season, because that would be quite interesting to see as well. But yeah, so overall, carry on. Carry on.
No. I won't be. I'll be a gentleman. You can.
No, I was just going to say. I thought you finished. I was just going to say, who is your man of the match and your performance rating?
I think when you said about finance for next time, I think it's about 34. I don't know on that bit, but for goals conceded. Man of the match for me was Patrizio, because he made some vital saves. And my mum, she said for Tina, as he showed a lot of potential in the game, and if it was me, I would sign him. And my match rating, first half would be a 7, and second half would be a 7 as well.
So a 7 overall.
Statman speed. Yes,
fantastic.
7 overall.
Absolutely brilliant, mate. And before we finish off with you, how's your mom doing? Obviously with a diagnosis, and how's your dog Cody?
She's good. Yeah, she's good. She's doing well. She's got surgery on May the 24th, so I have to look after her. I've got a lot of responsibility, which you know what I mean, I'm going to do, because she's my mum and I need to look after her. And Cody's absolutely fine. He's settled in now. Dave, when's your charity match, by the way? I know obviously there's a lot of circumstances going on. It's just, you know what I mean, I'm quite excited for it. I keep talking about it to my mum.
If we can get it sorted, I'll probably think it'll be in the off season next year. So if I can get that organised, that would probably be when it'd be most likely to be. So if things progress on that, we'll obviously update you.
Thank you for asking about my mum and the dog, and I do appreciate you always letting me on this show. It's a great show.
No, we always want to have you on here, so we appreciate you coming on.
People love you, Speedy. So and I know that it's good for you and your mental health and stuff like that, because you have struggled with a lot of stuff. So it's hopefully something that helps you with that as well. And you're a really lovely lad, and you're a lovely family as well. So thank you very much for coming on again tonight, mate.
Thank you. You're two great people as well. You should be proud of yourselves. For your
we're having a loving. There we go. All right, mate. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
You take care.
See you later.
So some lovely stats from Speedy. Top man, Speedy. Best wishes to you, my mum. Finley, what a lovely fella. Thanks, Statman. Stay safe. See you next time. And of course, Kieran is such a nice guy. That's lovely, isn't it? Right then, we've got a special treat now, Amy. Here he is. Here he is. It's Craig. He's got.
I thought he was having a quick e-cig then. I thought he was doing the e-cig. I thought.
We do need to let everyone know. Craig played at the Albert Hall for a lot of brass bands. And we've been saying for many weeks that after the Albion game, win, lose or draw, he's going to come on and play the tuba. Hi, Craig.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Amy.
Hello.
Well, what a great night. I really need to play because of time and the fact that Joe has just gone to bed. So I sort of need to get it done. You're absolutely right. It does need a clean. So I'll get this done, and then we can talk about the match after. I want everybody to sing with me. This is a well-known song. Oh, yeah. you'll all know this.
Can't sing.
So I recorded this on the organ last week. So as an accompaniment. So here we go. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, here we go. A debut. On the...
Here we go.
Under a wondrous star.
What is it?
One under a one. You, and that's where we come from.
Are we still going?
Amy.
Oh, break the internet if I start singing.
Absolutely. Everyone, I want claps for Craig in the comments.
Louis, that was good.
This is what you get on this channel.
You get knackered after that.
David. Oh mate, that was fantastic. That was. You've been working.
I wondered whether I thought it might be the liquidator to start. No, was anyone else annoyed when they heard the liquidator at the Albion ground today? I was.
Josh Woodbury says he's tempted to get his trumpet and baritone out to join in.
With your tax, so we're really
and the mellophone as well. We're getting all the French horns and the trumpets. Look at all these claps that you've got going. You've got Didier's giving you a standing O.
Oh, thank you very much, boys.
Claps and everything. Well done, Craig.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you,
look at this.
Well done,
Ashley Edwards. Even his parents are singing along. Merv Bennett says, "Get him in my band." Fantastic. Magic Moss on vocal. I love it. Mate, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I've not played much for like 2 years, so just for your show, Dave, tonight.
I'll tell you what, you get everything on this channel. I'll tell you. Anything to go on that. We have beautiful cats. We have great chat. We have ghosts in the dark shed.
Oh God, the ghost hasn't been.
We have people freezing, and now we've got a top quality baritone. Well, what is it? It's a tuba, isn't it? That you play. Fantastic.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, a man of my word. What a great performance tonight. What a really great performance from young kids. I was just absolutely thrilled about the energy and the desire not to lose.
Yeah,
which was absolutely great. They were snappy. They were at the baggies, and I sort of got that they were quite shocked by us because we had so many people out. I mean, what a disastrous season we've had for injuries. I think Nuno overall's done a great job. And anybody that says anything different has never managed teams. Next season, I think we're going to be top 6 easily. Could even get into top 4. Our young kids that are coming through, Silver's come on, and how much in 3-4 months? His
he looks
movement,
better, like every game. He just looks
absolutely.
He could have scored. He wanted to score a hat trick tonight.
What about that shot he did in the second half where he hit? I mean, it was a great shot. The confidence in the lad.
Well,
I love him. I love him.
The difference between him and Ruben this season, when Ruben's got in that position, it's got a high or wide. He was bang on, wasn't he? Absolutely on the nail. I've got one sort of downside that we still haven't sorted time after time, where Tomato sits on the penalty area line. He doesn't move out to that wing, which means that that a wide ball is always on against us, and it leaves us open. And we did it again tonight. He had so much space for that cross for the goal. It was so disappointing because we were so much in control of the game. You know, it was unbelievable, really. But that's the only thing that I've got as a negative. I thought the lads were absolutely amazing. Silver, brilliant. As I say, I thought that the midfield 2, 3 were really at it and aggressive. You know, it was really great to see. And our back 3, 4 didn't let their front 2 or 3 intimidate us and bully us. I thought we did really well there. Patricio again, absolutely top draw. Vimto's my man of the match. I like to call him that.
Vimto, don't let me dad hear that. He'll pick it up.
Oh God, your dad doesn't need anything to confuse him what the players are called.
No, 8.5 out of 10. I'd have given them 9.5 had they scored more, because we really missed some really clear opportunities.
I think their goal, to be fair, their Sam Johnson, their goalkeeper is a fantastic goalkeeper. So I think, you know, he's done a lot for them this season. I think if they hadn't have had him, they'd have been down a long time ago, to be honest. So some of those saves that he made really kept them in the game, especially in the first half. So but yeah, there's some of them. I think, was it Semedo in the first who had that? It looked quite a bit like an open goal.
Straight over.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
I thought, Dave, that you made a really good point when you said that we've had so many people out. We've had a really crap season by the, you know, when you judge it against the last 3, and yet we're 6 points off the Vile. We're safe. We've had the absolute perfect storm this year. And just next year, I am so excited for us. So I think we're really going to go great guns.
What made me even more confident is seeing Bettina and Otto. We played tonight. I was seeing them play and actually being able to see them properly have game time tonight. I've thought they are really good players, you know, and they've got so much potential to come through. And if Nuno can do what he's done with Neto and all of those, then you can see them coming through. We do need to invest. I personally think we've got to in the summer, we haven't got to buy players for the future. We've got to be buying players that have got to come straight in the side. We need the central defence sorted out in terms of additions, because as well as they've done, all of them, you know, it's the same defence from the Championship 4 years ago. You've got to bring in players. Kilman, thought you were right, did quite well when he came in. You know, you got Samuels, who's played quite well for Sunderland, but they are still young players. We need a Diaz type player coming in for us. Obviously, they cost money. I think your point that you've made about Semedo, I was making that point earlier in my watch along today, that they were having too much space to get the delivery. And if you give someone time and space on the wing without closing them down, they're going to get across in the defending. I mean, the guy was free; it was a good header. But Semedo, I think, with a summer pre-season, his positional play will be sorted, and hopefully we can get the position sorted as well. So, before we finish, a couple of questions for both of you. Rafa Mir, Terence asked, would you want Nuno to give him a chance next season? And also, what do you want now for the last 4 games of the season? Would you like him to continue with the youngsters till the end of the season? Let's give them more game time.
What do you think, Amy? Go on, you first.
Is he asking me if I think Nuno's the answer for next season? Is that the question?
No, I'm asking you about Rafa Mir. Do you think Nuno should give him a chance at the start of next season? Terence asked about that. And would you persist now with the likes of Vitinha and Otasowie in the team, giving him a good run out for the rest of the season now?
I mean, if you think about the rest of the season, I think, keep playing them. I mean, there's not a lot to choose from, really, is there? So if you're being quite blunt about it, but I think I was really, like I said earlier, I was really happy when I saw the team selection start. Me and my dad. My dad is being like Otasowie, I can't say it very well, his biggest fan from when he's had a bit of a run in. Was it the end of last year? He had a few games that he played in, like off the bench and a few halves, and Dad was like, he's going to be great. He is, like, he's so strong and he's got room to kind of bulk out a bit more and stuff, I think, as well. So I think he's really good. Vitinha is really, really impressed with him tonight. Really impressed. So I think, why not try some of the others like Corbeau, or however you say it. Kabani, that's the one.
I'd like to see him give a bit of game time as well.
I think it's, they've got the flexibility now. I just want to see them because I think tonight you saw them and they looked to me like they were really enjoying playing again, which was just so nice to see. So I think if they can just continue doing that for the remaining 4 games and just enjoy playing, and I think that to me is just a really positive to end. It's not been a disaster of the season because I think to be in the position that they are in with everything that's happened is fantastic. But it's obviously not been the most pleasant experience and pleasant season to watch. But I don't think without fans and everything, tonight, to be honest, was one of the first games of football, not just Wolves, of football in general. And I've watched a lot of football over the last year that I've actually really enjoyed watching because I think that there's just been no intensity to any games without fans there. And I think it's just been a really hard season for everyone to get through. So I think the fact we've got where we are, with loads of learnings, get all the injuries done now, just get them done. Anyone who wants to get injured, just get injured now, please. And then we can just come back next year and just give it large. Is my summary.
I'm loving that summary. I like it when Amy gets gets 1-1. It's great.
Dave, I don't think that we can make a decision about Mir because we've not seen him play, and all the feedback that we're getting is that he's really, really playing well. So why would we sell someone that we've not seen much in a Wolves shirt when all the feedback has been really good? So that would make absolutely no sense to me to go and spend millions on a sort of unknown when we've got a guy that we've given absolutely no opportunities to at the moment. And another thing, again, I'll sort of bang this home. Nuno is the one. Nuno has been with us three years. When we've had a really bad game, he's always hit the nail right on the head. He knows exactly what we need. He knows that he's made a real, error in this small squad thought line, and he knows that now. So why would you make any changes with a guy that knows Wolves inside out, that knows exactly what we need, that's got the structure in the club, he knows what we need to move to the next level? Why would you change that? That's just madness. That's my thoughts.
I think there's some good points there as well. Just to finish off before we finish the show with me and Amy, just to finish off at the end, William Jose, keep or send back? Send
back. And the reason being is that he's had long enough to prove if he can score at this level.
Yeah.
And his job is to score goals. He's worked really, really hard, and he's tried really, really hard, and he clearly wants to stay and he wants to play in this league, but he hasn't scored goals. That's it. I'm
there every game he's played. I'm like, I want you to score so badly, and I don't know why it's not worked, because he should be. He's like commanding. He's tall. He's solid. I just don't think he's up to the English game. I think that's.
You're absolutely right, Amy. But his movement's poor as well. He moves in like straight lines, which is not the way to do it. When you look at Silva move, he's in and out. He's in and back. He's across.
No, I completely agree with Silva's movement.
He's going to be an absolute superstar. We've done a great buy there. I think so.
I think pretty much everyone's in agreement. I'm with Amy. William Jose, I wanted him to succeed. He scored 1 goal in 13 or 14 games. I think he has helped the team when he's come in, when we were in that bad run, by holding the ball up and linking up. But his movement and his goal ratio, I know he's got a little bit better, but I think it says a lot that Fabio started up front ahead of him. Fabio's not played as much as he has probably. He scored 4 goals. He's the second youngest Portuguese player to have scored 4 goals. I think Ronaldo scored 20 goals in the Premier League before he was 20. Fabio Silva's already scored 4 goals, and he's not played. He's been coming on as a sub. And he scored again tonight. He could have scored another one if it wasn't tipped round. I think he plays he doesn't play. I think he played at the start like he had a big weight on his shoulders coming in for role with that £35 million price tag that was thinking. It's been pulled off him, and he's playing with a smile on his face. His confidence is up. You know, he believes more. He feels more part of the team, and you can see that, and you can see his ability and his talent. And he's 18 years of age. 18 years of age, and I think he is going to be worth that 35 million and more in time. Bosun aren't stupid. They're not thick. They're a bit that they obviously have gone out and spent that money because they really believe that they'll get their money back and get the value on it. And you've seen signs of that. And I think if you can beef out a little bit, you can see a lot of the training. He's doing a lot of work on the weights and stuff like that. He's going to be one hell of a player for Wolves. Give him a year or two. He will be. He will be something. You've seen enough. I've seen enough of him to think, yeah. I've seen enough of William Jose to go, nice bloke. It's not going to work out.
If you're going to build, and you're going to build for the, absolute top, you have to go through this time that's sort of really hard when things don't go your way, because that's when you learn. And to think that we've got 6 to 8 young kids from 18 up to 22 that have sort of got the potential to be world class. It's great times for us. And for me, the next 2 to 3 years, we are going to see times that we've never seen at Wolves, never seen. I am just so sort of thrilled about the young skill set that we've brought, and they're coming on Neto and Silva, Coutinho. I love that left back what's his name? He looks so confident.
He's done well, actually.
He's 19 years old, Dave. He's 19 years old. He's a kid, and he looks well at home in the Premier League. You know, he's not phased. How good is he going to be in 1 to 2 years' time? He's going to be off the scale.
I'm going to have a few like that. I think just to finish up on Craig, I think you've hit some good points on the head there in terms of like what we think, and I think sometimes in life, in everything, you take a step back, you have some hits, you get up and you go again. This is our step back this year. And it'll make us stronger going forward.
And you'd rather have the setback this year when everything else is going on as well than it be next year. When hopefully everything's back to normal.
I would absolutely rather have all my crap at once.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Get out of the way. And that's what's happened to us. It's a perfect storm for us, isn't it? It has been. Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong this season. We've had our lot. We've had our rubbish. Now it's time to, and we've still survived. And we've survived with ease, really.
We've had a perfect storm with all of these things and all of everything we've had to deal with, and we're still safe with 5 games to go after everything. So happy days. And I personally always positive, and I think we'll come good next season. And people need to keep the faith in Nuno, and he's learnt a lot from this season as well.
A prediction:
we'll
win the Premier League within the next 4 years. We'll win the Premier League.
Mate, if we win the Premier Leagues in the next 4 years, I'll get my drum out. You'll
be swinging, Dave. You'll be swinging from the Billy Wright statue flags. You will if they win the Premier League.
We'll get down Molyneux. We'll get your tuba.
Put a bet on it. Put a $5 on it, Craig.
There we go. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks ever so much for joining us again tonight, Craig. And thanks for playing your tuba. Make sure you watch.
Thanks for the tuba. We'll see you soon. Bye.
See ya.
Absolutely fantastic from Craig. Let's just get back onto the to the right thing. So I just want to thank Spider VPN, who have supported again tonight with powering the channel. So check out their website below. Amy, bang on time. I'm good, AI to you. Bang on time. But it's been a great show tonight. Lots of great comments. And the one thing that I want to pick out of the show that you said tonight that really resonated a lot with me, entertainment tonight. That game was really entertaining.
Yeah, it was. It was end to end. It was just, I genuinely really enjoyed watching it. I know we didn't win, but I just really enjoyed it, which is the first time I have watching Wolves, watching any type of football for ages. So that's what I think we all really just want to see for the rest of the season now.
Yeah, and I think the positives, I know people go, 1-1, we've got to draw against West Brom. At the end of the day, that's true. They've been playing really well lately, West Brom.
They have. They've really turned a corner, haven't they? And, they're our rivals, but you've got to admit that they have got a lot better over the recent weeks.
They have, and they've stopped conceding goals. They've started scoring some. They've scored a few goals. Their form is top half recently. And we've had all these injuries to perform, and we've played some youngsters in a Black Country derby, without the fans. And they've roasted the occasion, they've played, and we definitely were the better side. We had more chances, more possession, more shots on target, and it was like a monsoon. And at times towards the end, it was like a basketball game, backwards and forwards.
He thought, I'm glad it wasn't like that the first half, because it would really affected the rest of the game. So, but yeah, exactly. It's just, and the thing is as well tonight, take out it's a local derby. Whoever the Albion played tonight, they had to win. They had to win tonight. The Albion did, to have any slim hope. I mean, I think they all know they're down really anyway, but any slim hope then they had to win and they didn't. And Wolves, if you hadn't have known the situation for either team, you'd have said Wolves were the ones that were fighting for their lives tonight.
Absolutely, it was great, and I actually enjoyed watching the game.
Yeah,
and we didn't win, and I know they're going to think, but fair play, and the Albion fans, I feel like their board didn't invest in their squad, and they were all against it from the start.
Well, they shouldn't have got promoted. They shouldn't have got promoted last year anyway. They scraped that second place.
They only scraped through. It was. I felt like
Brentford should have got that second place spot, in my opinion.
I felt like last season they were a runner that was in the front, and they'd ran out of energy, and they were just literally going like that. And Brentford were coming like this, and then they fall over at level. And
I know. I thought they were really lucky to get. They were really lucky to get promoted, Albion, and I think it was the wrong for them to get promoted last year, really. But anyway, I'm a bit annoyed as well, because I thought if they could have got promoted this year instead, we'd have actually been able to go to a derby next year. But
I know, and to be honest, I mean, you've seen we're starting to see bands, a festival things, and a rave, and the snooker's got some fans in, and you've seen the League Cup final and stuff like that, having some fans, and hopefully we'll have some fans at Molineux at the end of the season. I know not full ground, we want everyone there, but there is hope on the end of that horizon that we're going to get back to Molineux for the start of next season, and let's hope that happens. Let's just hope that happens, because football without the fans, it ain't the same. And I've as much as this year's been interesting, it's been 18 months since we've been to Molineux, Amy.
I know. It's a long time, isn't it? And I think we say about, the point situation, and you've got, I think for Wolves especially, you can look at the table and there's definitely teams that have benefited from fans not being there. I think West Ham probably are the best prime example of that. And then there's teams on the other end of the spectrum. I think Wolves and Liverpool are probably two of the teams that have stood up.
Sheffield United as well.
Sheffield United, I think the Albion probably as well.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of teams where fans are actually a bigger impact than others, and I think Wolves are definitely up there with one of those. So I think in terms of the game and the quality of the games, I think we just need fans back now, and I think it's good to see fans being able to get into for the rest of the season towards the end. But to me, it's not going to be right until capacities are at maximum, really, because I just don't think you'll get the atmosphere there.
And I think that's a good note to finish tonight on. Exactly right what you're saying. Entertaining game, take the point, move on, play the kids for the rest of the season, have a break, come back stronger next season. Bang on the money.
Definitely.
Well, we're going to finish off there. If you've enjoyed the video, enjoy these comments, please smash a like. If you're listening to us on, on YouTube or podcast, hope you're enjoying the show. We'll be back next week.
Oh God, we've got Brighton. We never beat Brighton.
No, Brighton, our bogus side, but we can have for 51 shots on target to their one, and we'd still end up losing. But maybe we can break that jinx and again against Brighton. But we will be back for extra time. For the Brighton game, and I hope you enjoyed tonight. So from myself, Dazzling Dave, and from our aims, always Wolves.
Always Wolves. Bye.